Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Imaginary Boys podcast. I am one of the two hosts, Mr. Habanero. I have my secondary host, who is Mr. Lettuce. I was busy laughing at a joke that we made that I didn't realize that he had already started the podcast. How are you doing, Mr. Lettuce?
I am doing great. So do you know what today is?
I do. We were talking about it right before we started.
Happy anniversary, sweetheart.
You remembered.
I do remember.
In all honesty, you actually probably remembered better than I did. But we were only talking about it for like the last couple of months behind the scenes, right?
Yeah. No, this is tomorrow. We're recording this. Actually, we're recording this on the day the first episode dropped.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
It's kind of cool.
So
is this hot salad part 2?
This is definitely going to be hot salad part 2.
Oh man.
And this time we have the boom anime babes that will make you think the wrong things.
Yes, absolutely. I'll put a big sexy anime booby lady in the thumbnail. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Boom anime babes.
Think that'll sell the episode properly? Make all the people want to click on it? What do you think about that, guys? Did you click on the sexy booby thumbnail? I'm asking you right now, audience. I know you did. I know you clicked on the sexy anime booby thumbnail. We're only 2 minutes into this. They know who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
They haven't had enough time to react and then realize that they don't want to listen to this and then leave.
Yeah, no. We came in hard. There's no chance for them. There's no chance for them to go, oh, this is yucky.
Oh, that's yucky. Yeah, man. So it's the birthday, the very first birthday of the podcast. We actually have a lot of stuff to talk about. But I figured, at first I would do the normal stuff, which is, asking you how you're doing. How's your day been?
Pretty good. I bought a new iPad.
Did you now? I did not know that.
Well, I haven't mentioned it until just right now.
Yeah.
It is coming in the mail tomorrow, but my company laptop is being upgraded at some point.
Okay.
And since I'm the divisional Mac tech as well as the network administrator,
right? They
said, "Hey, how do you feel about getting a MacBook for your company laptop?" And I'm like, "Okay, I can work with it."
Nice.
So I'm getting one of the new one of the new nice MacBook Pros,
dude.
And
yes.
And I bought a iMac so that I can sidecar and use it as a second display when needed.
Oh yeah, you were talking to me about that in a different episode, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. It's one of the things. It's one of the things. Also, since I bought this on my own dime, I bought the Magic Keyboard.
Okay.
Accessory for the iPad Air.
Okay. Nice.
So that it's kind of a MacBook Air replacement at that point, because it's got a reasonable touchpad and keyboard on it, and an 11-inch screen and an 11.5-inch screen. Mm-hmm. So inside that keyboard case, it's pretty much a laptop at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to end up using it a lot as a laptop replacement. The Steam client for Mac is pretty well fleshed out to where I can do streaming over the thing, so I can play Core Keeper in my bed.
Hell yeah.
By attaching a mouse to the iPad, because they actually have mouse support on iOS now.
Mm-hmm.
So I can feed it. So I can feed through a Mac and go into Steam streaming mode and play Core Keeper on my MacBook, on my iPad Air.
Nice. Sounds pretty sweet, man.
Got bored the past 2 days because you've been busy and you haven't just been available.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I was trying to grind my mining
to
get that completed.
The anniversary episode is another Core Keeper episode. Let's go.
Yeah, dick jokes. So which means it's going to be Core Keeper dick joke, Core Keeper dick joke.
The only thing Core Keeper is going to be relevant for is for reminding us that we did in fact have a topic at some point that we were trying desperately to talk about but never get to it.
Yeah. So the entire so basically I got bored, crafted a couple of Scarlet pickaxes, and went ham on the entire dirt biome.
You just removed all the walls.
Yeah. Well, you've been in my base, right?
Yeah, I mean, your base is almost the entire size of the entire dirt biome. So yeah,
it takes up a third of it. So I was like, well, I'm here. Just go ahead and plow the entire thing. So
are you gonna at some point just try to mine every single biome?
Well, I'm working on the stone biome now.
You know what I think that they should have done in Core Keeper? This was something that I thought about a few times while playing it.
Because I haven't maxed out mining yet.
They should have made a recipe that allows you to convert dirt walls into floor.
Yeah, that's something that
right?
Yeah, I was thinking that today too. I was like, man, I have all these dirt walls because
dirt walls.
Because I legit blew up the entire dirt biome.
Yeah.
So those walls have to go somewheres.
There's all those open areas and water sources where you're just I would just rather fill this area up with dirt, Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, so that's something I would ask for.
Yeah.
I might, pop on their Discord and be like, "Hey, we need a conversion tool that will convert walls to floors."
Yeah, or also, and maybe even add in floors to walls, just because why the hell not? Probably wouldn't use it, but it would be nice to have anyways.
At a 5-to-1 at a 5-to-1 conversion rate. So
sure.
A wall equals 5 floors, or 5 floors equal 1 wall.
Sure. I'd be down for that.
Which would also help somebody who wants to grind crafting up to max, which I also did.
Right.
Because I had run out of any storage I had for wood. So I had to find something to do with all that wood. So I crafted about 10,000 treasure chests.
Jesus Christ, dude. All right, man.
Because they take because a treasure chest comes in for 5 wood.
Right.
So I crafted 10,000 of them just to tell you how much wood I have.
All right, man. We've got all those automated wood making systems, which I've seen before, which is insane.
Yeah. They're if you go AFK, which I do when I have drills deployed on ore veins. Those you've seen how fast wood grows.
Yeah.
Naturally, you've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Mine is a controlled growth. There is no stopping it.
Yeah.
I will fill up a treasure chest in 2 days. And I have and I'm catching 2 treasure chests worth of wood. So good news is treasure chests are something that you can sell to the bearded guy.
Right.
For about a coin each.
Okay.
When you're selling them a full stack at a time.
Yeah.
So now I have. So now I've run into a coin storage issue. all the chests I set up to store coins.
Yeah.
They full.
Well, and then you need to like trade all your coins for something, right? Obviously.
Yeah, so I'll take two stacks of coin
right.
every 30 to 40 minutes because it's how long it takes for him to refresh his stock and buy everything off of him. I'm gonna end up running out of space for meat.
You're too powerful, man. You're too powerful. You're broken. You are broken in the game.
Yeah, it's happened. I've hit OP level. I also got bored, and you know how I have a rail system, going from the base to straight south into the Azores Wilderness.
Sure.
I expanded that.
Okay.
It's now 5 columns wide.
Right.
And it's got a wall and or moat on either side. So it's a safe, complete transit down south.
Okay.
Huh. There is a one spot to stop in the middle, just past the Gulch Trail. I set up a small base, kind of a stop base, to where you could get out, and to where I could get out and do things in that biome. Right. I'm planning on doing the same thing in each 4 of the cardinal directions. Because
you gotta move. You gotta move shit. It's okay, you don't need a reason.
Gotta do stuff.
Yeah, man. So guess what I found yesterday? Well, I mean, I didn't find it. I hung out with somebody yesterday, and then I made a passing comment, and they were like, "Oh, I know where you can find that stuff." And I was like, "For realsies?" So I was hanging out with somebody I haven't seen in a long time yesterday, and like I had some things I had to do in town, so we met up in town and had lunch and hung out and whatever. And I was just like, you know what I really miss? And they were like, what? And I was like, I really miss smoking cigars. Like I used to smoke cigars. I used to be super into that. And I haven't done it in like, you and me have talked about this before.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get some stogies and some whiskey, and we're gonna hang out. We're gonna hang out somewheres and just look cool.
Hell yeah, bro. So, well, that's and there's definitely I gotta tell you about something involving that concept too. So I was just like, I mean, I used to smoke cigars, and I haven't done it in like a year or so, and I really miss it because the smoke shop that I used to buy cigars from, they went out of business. And my friend was just like, "Oh, I know like a really good cigar shop, and it's like literally right here in town." I was like, "Are you for real right now?" They're like, "Yeah, of course. Like, I'll tell you where to go, and you can go pick up a cigar or something." So I went over to this place that's like a tattoo parlor / like super high quality cigar shop. Like I originally when I went there, because it was like this tiny little tattoo parlor, and I was like, I don't know, this seems a little sketch. And I was like, I walked up to the front door and I was just like, "Hi, I was told that this is a cigar shop." And the guy was like, "Oh yeah, come on back. Like, let me show you." And like he walks me back into this room that is like unbelievably like amazing looking. Like it's just covered in cigars everywhere. And I was just like, holy shit. And like this guy had the most insane selection of cigars I'd seen in quite a long time. And he was just like, "Oh yeah, like what do you like?" Like, and I it was kind of hard because I was like, well, I haven't like smoked a cigar in like over a year, and I don't really know what I'm looking for. He's like, "Oh, it's okay. Like, do you like something full body? Do you like something like peppery? Like, do you want something more smooth?" And I was like, "Oh well, I guess I'll do something. I mean, I think I like them peppery, but I think I'll try something smooth since it's been quite a while since I've had one." He's like, "Oh yeah, no problem." He like starts naming off a bunch and kind of describing them. And I bought one. I bought myself a cigar. And and this guy was like, oh, by the way, like, this is like my tiny little tattoo parlor that just kind of has like the little cigar shop in the back. And he was like, but actually what's happened is recently business has been going really good specifically for the cigars, so I'm actually planning to move into a bigger building. And he was like basically saying that's going to basically be a jazz bar, like cigar lounge. And I was just like, no shit, you're literally
No.
speaking my language. You're literally speaking my goddamn language right now. Are you for real? And he's like, yeah, man. And so he gave me his business card. And I mean, he didn't specifically say jazz, but I mean, he's basically saying like I'm basically building, a much larger place.
A
A
smoker,
lounge.
a smoker lounge.
Yeah, it's like a cigar lounge. Like, it's a bar too, and he's putting it together, and he's like, yeah, it's just because apparently like originally like he was doing all of his cigar selling out of like his tattoo parlor. And the thing is that because I mentioned to you earlier, like, there's no cigar businesses in town anymore. They all went out of business. And apparently that ever since that happened, his cigar, like his little cigar outlet in his tattoo parlor has been booming. And he's making a ton of money off of just selling cigars to people who are looking for cigars because there aren't any cigar shops anywhere. And he's been making enough that he's actually capable of opening up a lounge to sell cigars out of. So I mean, if you ever come and meet me and come into town, and I would assume that if that happens in the future, that he'll probably have the place up and running by then. We have a place where we could meet up and go get some like super high quality alcohol and get some like super nice cigars. And
Yes, I'm down.
Yeah, man.
It definitely beats like buying whatever random whiskey you get at the local package store and a pack of and whatever decent $10 cigars I could scrounge up.
Yeah.
See, cigar lounges around here have kind of been drying up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was kind of cool because like, when I first walked in, like when I first saw the place, I was like, oh, this is like a tattoo parlor that's kind of like a hole in the wall a little bit. I don't know how I feel about this. But literally when he walked me back into like the little pocket that is like this cigar room where he's selling cigars, I was like, damn, this guy's got some class. Holy shit. Like, it actually looks really nice back here. And like, he was like, oh yeah, and I have like all these cigars and all these and all these. And like, it's just like, dude, this guy's on his shit apparently. And I think the implication was that he seems like he's actually kind of a classy guy. And the thing is that he's like, oh yeah, and like, because it's booming now, like I definitely want to like open up a lounge and do all that. So I was like, dude, I would super be down for that. And apparently like he's like, oh yeah, and also like he's like, you can go to our website and we actually do like meetups where it's like me and like all the other like classy cigar smokers are all going to meet up and like have like a really nice cigar, and we're all going to get like super nice food and like drinks and stuff like that and hang out in like this one area. I was like, that sounds kind of cool, man. I might be kind of down. I'm a classy cigar smoker. I'd be kind of down for that. Yeah, I'm down to be a hipster with you guys. If you guys are cool with having another hipster like me, I'm kind of that's my kind of Jimmy Jams, So yeah, basically, last night I had like my first cigar that I've had in like a year or two, and I got like a smoother cigar, and the thing is because I wasn't sure how my experience was going to be because it's been so long since I last had one, and it was so nice. It was so nice. It was so smooth, and I even remember like while I was enjoying it last night because I was sitting out on my porch smoking it. And I was just like, I should have got something stronger. Like I should have like, because I was like, I do remember that I did like stronger body, like peppery cigars back in the day, but I wasn't sure since it's been so long. So I got something smoother on purpose. And I was smoking that thing last night. I was like, I probably would have been kind of down for something a little stronger. Like, I think I could probably handle that. And I mean, I do the whole business too. Like, I mean, obviously you never inhale a cigar. You don't do that. Like, but I was doing the whole business where one of the things you do is you roll it to the back of your mouth and then you push some of it out through your nostrils. So I do that because I'm crazy and hardcore like that. Some people think I'm like, you shouldn't do that, but at the same time, that's actually considered normally a way of palate cleansing for refreshing the flavor of the cigar. So like you do that, and it makes it so that your next puff is like really strong and tasty and flavorful. And I mean, I was doing that and enjoying it, and I was like, I probably could have gone for something stronger because this stuff just kind of, it's very delicious, it's very smooth, but I would have liked something to just kick my ass just a little bit harder, But I mean, like what kind of like, because I mean, I don't know if you are, I mean, I'm not a super frequent cigar smoker, obviously, because it's been a while since I last had one. But I mean, do you know what kind of tastes you have with cigars, Lettuce?
Not really.
That's okay.
I was never really a cigar smoker. I dabbled with being a pipe bro.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And my thing was, when I was like a heavy smoker, was clove cigarettes.
Right. Well, I mean, do you like because like, so my thing with smoking tobacco back in the day was I actually liked loose leaf, and I liked tobaccos that were kind of like more flavorful. So, and like when you tell me like cloves, like that's kind of like got like a peppery sort of like flavor to it, doesn't it? Yeah. So like you'd probably like something that is like, because I mean that's the thing with me is like smoking cigar, it's like a flavor experience, it's not so much like like a nicotine rush or anything. And obviously, yes, it's you're smoking nicotine obviously, but like I treat cigars the same way like I treat like drinking coffee, which is like yeah, when you're smoking a cigar you're getting nicotine, and when you're drinking coffee you're getting caffeine. But it's like I drink coffee because I genuinely enjoy the flavor of coffee. Like I'll drink a black coffee, like I'll drink a black espresso, and if it's a really good kind of coffee or bean or whatever, because I enjoy the taste of actual coffee. And that's like the same thing that it is with me with, smoking tobacco or smoking a cigar or whatever. Is because it's like, I just genuinely think it tastes good. Like I love bitter flavors. I really do. And some people think that's weird, but that's just kind of the weirdo that I am. So, I mean, like, if you actually enjoy like the flavors of like a cigar, like if you like enjoy like cloves and stuff like that, you know, do you like it to be more smooth, or do you kind of like it to kind of like hit you pretty strong?
I prefer it to be smooth.
Okay. Yeah, then you probably would have liked the cigar that I smoked last night. It was really nice. It was really
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. I was just really excited about that because I was like, "Oh, I found a cigar shop! Yay!" I was so happy. Now I just have to find a place that sells like, well, I don't think I could go back to that, but I used to buy like a really specific kind of loose leaf tobacco back in the day that I used to really enjoy, but I don't know if I want to go that far. You know what I mean?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
Not with your medical conditions, anyway.
Yeah, I shouldn't be smoking anything, to be honest.
The occasional is okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, like even with my conditions, like the fact that I was a clove, like a habitual clove smoker for any noticeable amount of time, was kind of borderline retarded.
Yeah,
But I mean, as I tell people, I'm a crazy person. And I don't really like myself that much.
That's okay. You're in the exact same boat as I am, bro.
Yeah.
Hooray for not liking ourselves. I like you a lot, though.
Well, I mean, I like you too. No homo.
Yeah. Well, kind of little homo, right?
No, no homo.
What about like a little homo? Little homo?
No, I've been asked to be a good boy, so
yeah.
So I have to on the record say no homo.
Especially after that video you just sent me on Discord.
Yeah.
What about why not homo?
Yes, let's homo. All of the homo.
I do love that video. I did see that video before. It's so funny.
Yeah. No, I found it and I clipped it because I'm using that as a response a lot on Twitter. And I was like, you probably, given the fact that we do this a lot.
Yeah, man.
And the fact that I'm half drunk right now.
Also, happy Pride Month, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess is given that it is Pride Month.
Yeah, man.
I guess I am obligated to say why not homo?
We're not homo, man. It's okay. It's just this month.
Yes.
Just for this month.
Yeah,
it's
yes,
okay.
let's homo. All of the homo.
It's just for this month. That's okay. We could do homo. Homo for the month is fine. I'm sure that our audience can respect that. Yeah. Father,
I am homosex.
Son, I am disappoint.
Have
you ever seen the one where it's also the father with the lipstick and mascara and he's like, son, I am also homosex?
Yeah.
That's like this month. Like normally he would say like by a month to month basis, he would say, son, I'm disappoint. But for this month specifically, he says, I am also homosex.
But it's June, so you've got to fly those colors.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
and then at midnight on July 1st, revert back
to son, I am disappoint. You're right.
To son, I am disappoint.
That should be like a proper meme template where somebody does like an entire like meme that's just the calendar and then just do that like panel over and over again for son, I am disappoint. And then immediately when it gets to June, also do son, I am also homosex. Be so good.
Yeah, it would be. But you know, on top of rough gay anal sex,
with the big fat butt.
Yeah, with the big fat butt. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. June used to be known for another thing, but not so much anymore because E3 is dead.
Yeah, nobody cares about E3. You know, we definitely called it. We called it.
I mean, yeah, we called it. I called it last year. I was like, yeah, there were like they held one despite the fact that COVID was still a thing, and it really hampered everything. And I'm like, even if COVID wasn't a thing, why?
Yeah,
and apparently the guys at ESA, who run E3, listened to our podcast and said that fat bastard is right.
Yep. I like to think that that's a great achievement in our podcast history. Is we literally forged the gravestone of E3 with our podcast.
So instead of having one event in the middle of the month, everybody's just going to like spend like one day just dropping shit.
Yeah.
Yesterday was Pokemon Company showing the second trailer for Gen 9. Yeah,
Scarlet and whatever that other color is. Violet, sure.
Yeah.
Magenta. Cyan.
Red and purple.
Scarlet, mauve. Cyan, and mauve.
Mauve and purple.
Shit brown.
Sonic Team showed off a trailer for Frontier.
It's a goddamn tech demo. Like it's a Oh, Nintendo, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, I mean, that one's not Nintendo.
It's true. That's true.
It's Sonic Frontiers. They're like they apparently Sonic Team got bored and decided we'll make a Skyrim mod for Sonic the Hedgehog.
I mean, one of the things that I kept hearing from a lot of different people is they're like, really? Is that what we're going to do with all of Nintendo's IPs now? We're just going to make a Breath of Wild for everybody?
Yeah. Yeah, because
Sonic gets a Breath of Wild.
Yeah, so it's like Sonic Frontiers. I'm like, so this looks like Skyrim if it was made in Unreal Engine.
I mean, I don't know, maybe. I'll be honest, that the Sonic tech demo looks ugly, and I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, it looks so pretty," and I got such high hopes for it. It's like, bruh, it's so ugly. It's so ugly, man.
It's the first trailer for Breath of the Wild with Sonic the Hedgehog in it. Which, if people don't remember, like the first Sonic, like the first Zelda Wii U, before we knew it was called Breath of the Wild, like those trailers were not very good looking, and they were kind of barren.
Yeah,
which for once a trailer was an accurate representation of the game.
Yep. Yeah.
But hot damn, Sonic doesn't need to be in Skyrim. like Sonic the Hedgehog barely needs to be in Green Hill Zone.
Man, oh man, yeah. Well, one of the things that makes me really annoyed by it whenever I see it, and this is like a problem that I have with like, so I got to go ahead and say I don't like Sonic games. I really don't.
I haven't liked a Sonic game since Sonic 2.
Yeah, that's literally what I was about to say. Was the last time I had fun playing a Sonic game was I was like in elementary school and I was playing like Sonic 2. That was like the last time I had a good time playing a Sonic game. And I don't really like Sonic games, and like, I mean, I understand the appeal of like the character and like the in-game universe of it or whatever. I understand the appeal, but it's never particularly appealed to me. It's never been something I've ever been that interested in. And the thing that I always really find that I don't like whenever I see a Sonic game being advertised or anything like that is like they're always like, oh, and especially with this one, the new one that they're showing off. But I've also had this commentary about like other ones that they've done in the past, and they're like, oh, this beautiful green, like jungle-ish area with all these fields and trees and natural lakes and waters. And then it's like, and then there's a street with a loop-de-loop in the sky with grinding rails, and you have these little metal spinners and freaking laser machines, and like they're just floating there. And it's like, if there is a god in this game, if there is a god in this fantasy Sonic universe, he clearly decided that the disciple of the world is frickin' Sonic. He's apparently the Messiah, because apparently he designs the whole goddamn world for Sonic to run on specifically. Like,
yeah.
Like nobody else could possibly live in a world with floating goddamn loop-de-loops and grinding rails and shit like that. Like, who's building all this shit, man? Especially like you even brought up Green Hill Zone. And like Green Hill Zone is literally like loop-de-loops built out of like dirt. And it's like, what absolutely psychopathic like deity decided that this is how he wanted to design his world?
Yeah, and it's not like it's a loop-de-loop for a reason. It's just like,
yeah.
It's just like, Yeah, Sonic needs to do the loop de loop.
It doesn't like serve any purpose other than like just to see how cool he looks when he's running on it. Like I love that. I like it's kind of like I hate it because it's so stupid, but at the same time I love it because just the sheer absurdity of knowing that like there is some like psychotic like deity who's building these worlds for Sonic to like run around on. You know, like
I mean, at the very least, this demo avoided showing like most of Sonic Team's mental retardation in level design. Because you have a character whose sole personality trait is gotta go fast.
Yeah, man.
So what do?
They actually slow him down a lot, and that was a complaint that a lot of people were making.
they're like, okay, you got this character like who's got to go fast, so we're going to design a level to make sure he face plants into every effing wall ever.
Well, it's like the whole thing of like I watched a video a long time ago that was talking about like why Sonic games are like basically always bad all the time. And I mean, I'm sure that that's in its own right a controversial statement for the Sonic universe fandom.
Oh, yeah.
But
no. Like I remember as a child having a great time playing Sonic 2.
Yeah.
I've played Sonic 2 as an adult, and I'm like, yeah, I can see where as a child I had a fun time doing this.
Yeah.
Also, hot damn is this game hot trash.
Yeah, it is. But one of the things that they made a point out of that they were like explaining of why like one of the biggest flaws in game design for Sonic games is literally the biggest mistake is the fact that Sonic's whole shtick is that he's gotta go fast. That's literally the problem with game design for Sonic games. And the guy basically explained, he says, when you have to build a level where you have to like focus on the detail and you have to like build all the structures and all the platforms and, you know, make sure everything looks right, everything functions right. You know, you got to clean up all the bugs, you got to do all this, you got to do all that. But the thing is that every time you do that, like you spend an hour in a singular location, you know, or multiple hours working on a single location where you're fixing all the bugs and fixing all the designs and making sure it looks right. Sonic's going to be in there for like 2 seconds. Like you have to like you're basically like building maps where you want the player to be spending, you know, maybe 10 to 20 minutes running through the map. And in order to have those high speeds for 10 to 20 minutes, that means you're spending an absolutely insane amount of time designing those levels to be long enough so that very specific points can be well designed enough for him to only spend maybe 5 seconds in at any given time at the most.
Right.
Like, and it's basically like you can't design around that. Like, I mean, you can, but it's such an obscene amount of work and stress and like, and to get literally like nothing out of it. And like and the guy basically explains that's why like a lot of the games just end up being hot garbage is because it's too much work. It's too much work to build around the idea that Sonic has to constantly move fast because nobody's going to be able to see anything or do anything like in any of those spaces. Like it's, and I mean, that's, you know, I always kind of agreed with that point, especially when you really look at it from that direction. And I mean, it is kind of funny when you're watching the tech demo and like you said, you're watching them like slam into walls. And like one of the funniest parts is there's a scene where he's like sprinting up a tower, right? He's like sprinting up a tower and then he comes to a wall and he like slams into the wall and then he has to like do the Breath of the Wild wall climb, right? So he's like wall climbing the tower and then he speeds up his wall climbing and then he just runs up the wall. And it's just like, well, what was the goddamn point then? why did you even bother? Like, what are you doing? Why?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to that Sonic game.
Oh, I'm not even gonna play it. Like, I won't play it. Like, not.
Thankfully, my son has declared to me that he is not a Sonic fan anymore. So I don't have to worry about, hey, we should try the Sonic thing. And I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah.
Damn it, son, I am disappointed.
Son, I am disappointed. Yeah, it's just I don't like. I mean, I kind of understand because I mean I feel like that. I kind of went through the same thing. Like when Sonic 2 was available for me to play, I loved it. But then like after that, I was like, all right, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm good. Like I don't care about the cartoons or the comics or the figurines or any of that. Like I just never.
I like the Saturday morning cartoon. And the reason why I can even remotely play Sonic 2 still, like go back and play it, is the music is some of the better music in that from that era for what's basically a mindless platformer.
Yeah. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean Green Hill Zone is bussin'.
Yeah, it is. Do 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 do. I do remember those from my childhood. That is for sure. They were pretty iconic songs. But the one that I really want to talk about,
Casino Zone.
Oh yeah,
That's an awesome theme.
They had like a sort of buzzy sound to it, didn't they?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember it. It's been a long time.
What you were saying?
Oh, sorry. The one that I really wanted to talk about is I really wanted to yell about Pokemon, the new Pokemon games.
Oh, you didn't like the new Pokemon trailer?
I mean, I don't like Pokemon like at all anymore, really. I mean, I
am shocked.
Well, okay, so this
is my shocked face.
It's not 100% true that I completely hate Pokemon. Like I don't completely hate Pokemon. In fact, actually, one of the things is I've been.
You used to love Pokemon before it was cool.
No, I definitely was late to the hype of the original. Like, I was dead smack in the middle of like Pokemon hype when it first came out, for sure. Like back in the red and blue days, like I was definitely part of like the every kid on my neighborhood is playing this and so am I. But it wasn't like, I will say this though, I didn't play it because it was popular. I played Pokemon Red because it was given to me as a gift, and this was before like Pokemon hype like hit me. And then like while I started playing Pokemon Red, that's when hype hit me and I was like, "Oh yeah, no, this hype makes perfect sense. I am like hardcore addicted to this." But no, I was dead center in the middle of the hype. Like I wasn't like the cool kid playing Pokemon before it was like the cool thing to do or anything like that. I don't get the right to be that cool of a hipster. I'm sorry. But no, it's like, and the thing is too is that there's a YouTube channel that I've been watching. I especially have been enjoying it a lot recently. That is literally just they're videos of a guy who plays like a competitive Pokemon battle simulation game, which I think is like free to play online or something like that. I think it's called like Showdown or something like that.
Smogon.
Huh?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Showdown? Is that what it's called?
Smogon?
Well, Smogon is the guys that regulate like tournament play, I think, right? Don't they like write all the rules for online tournament play or something? Like they have like the ban lists and stuff like that. But I think that like it's actually I think it's called Showdown. I think that's what the game is called. And I'm gonna look it up really, really quick. Just to like, I'm going to the guy's channel because I've been watching his stuff a lot lately, and it's basically
yeah, it's
just
called Pokemon Showdown.
okay.
It's a
Basically
web-based.
huh?
It's a web-based Pokemon battle simulator.
Yeah. So it's basically free to play online, and like it's just kind of like, and apparently from what I've learned, it's basically the 4chan of Pokemon. It's where all the toxic assholes go to play Pokemon and fight each other and talk shit at each other. Um but anyways, like I've been enjoying watching that because it's just like it's really fun. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Like but it's really fun just watching like, really good, like I watched this one channel and the guy basically plays like 4D chess with Pokemon. And he's got some of the most insane strategies I've ever seen, and he's incredibly talented at just playing Pokemon and knowing all the strategies and doing all sorts of wacky bullshit. And like I enjoy that because it's like I mean, because like for example, like I don't like football or basketball or hockey or anything like that, but like when I watch like this guy playing Pokemon, competitive Pokemon on Pokemon Showdown, it's like to me like I'm watching like a sport. Like, and I'm like rooting and I'm like, oh, like he's doing this strategy because he runs like this particular typing with like this particular monster that uses this ability, which knows this particular move pool, which means that the stats for like this monster have to be in this way in order to run this specific move pool to get that particular strategy viable. Like, so I can like watch it and I just like know exactly because my brain can still like understand that stuff, I guess. So, I mean, to a degree, I still really enjoy Pokemon. Like I like the overall like strategies behind the battle flow and like all the little tricks and trades and stuff like that. Um, but the thing is that even though I can enjoy watching those competitive fights and like understanding them and having a great time at like how ridiculous they are and like how clever they are, I don't think the games are good. I don't think the games are good anymore. And that's where I stand on it.
I mean, my problem I have with the games is the games haven't evolved.
Yeah. Get it?
Yeah, they did. They didn't evolve. They're still their basic form.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
Because a lack of evolution is somewhat to be expected when a dev company has to releases its first game on a platform. You kind of want to play it safe. You don't want to kind of try to run out too much and run the risk of releasing an unplayable game.
Right.
So Sword and Shield was kind of excusable because that was the first like mainline game that was on the Switch. The first game on the Switch was Pokemon Go, and it got excuse because it wasn't a mainline game, and
did you really enjoy it though?
What Go? I mean,
Yeah.
Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah.
Go Eevee and Go. Or I played Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah, I thought you said you liked those games because they were kind of different.
They were a little different. Like the catching, I like the Let's Go catching mechanic.
Right.
Because it kind of put you in control of like Pokemon Go, where like you throw the ball,
Yeah.
and your skill at throwing the ball, helps you catch your Pokemon, and it's not based purely on random luck whether or not the Pokemon decides it wants to be captured.
Right.
Because I mean that's kind of what
capture rates and all that.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it always worked, was just capture rate, and you're kind of at the you're kind of at the
mercy of RNG.
the mercy. Yeah, you're at the mercy of RNGesus.
Yeah.
If you're trying to catch something that doesn't that isn't bedoofing you.
Take me. Just put it in me. Put that ball in me, big boy. I'm a Bidoof, by the way. This is my Bidoof voice.
Yeah, so that kind of got a pass because it was trying to be a somewhat upscale remake of Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Right.
So, and I thought visually, given that it was kind of trying to base itself off of Game Boy assets, that I was like, this is when Pokemon Let's Go came out, I was like, this is a good starting point for 3D Pokemon on the Switch. Right. And it kind of made me excited for Sword and Shield because I was like, if Pokemon, if Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu was the baseline for what the Switch could do for Pokemon, I was like that, at the very least, you have a interesting game to exist in.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I found out about the open world aspect, I was like, yes, let's go. The Switch can do this, and this might be the most interesting Pokemon game that ever came out.
Right.
And then you get there and you're like, oh, this is limited as hell, and it looks like trash.
Yeah. It seemed like from the stuff that I saw of Sword and Shield, it just looked really empty a lot.
Well, I mean, not even that, just like the assets. Like you looked at textures and stuff, and you're like, you legit used 3DX. You legit ported 3DS textures and animations, as it turns out.
Yeah.
To the Switch, and called it a day.
Yeah.
Like it was incredibly gross, and it looked way worse.
Wasn't that also around the time when they were saying that we have to limit the size of the Pokedex because we need to work on designing these assets properly?
Yeah, I mean, that was the excuse that they used, was we're limiting the Pokemon because we can't animate.
Yeah.
1,000. We can't run animation, unique animations for 1,000 Pokemon. And probably what they meant was the animations in the campsite.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, where you're relaxing with the monsters or whatever.
Yeah, you're cooking the curry and you're playing fetch with them. When you're in that mode, which most players spent a grand total of 5 minutes in, unless they were trying to 100% the game, completionist nutters. Yeah. And we're trying to earn the golden utensils for making curry.
What do the golden utensils do? Do they do anything cool?
Not a damn thing.
Awesome. I love collectibles that don't do anything and don't do anything. That's the best.
End game collectibles that don't make cooking curry any easier. doesn't assure you get better quality curry.
Yeah, but they're shiny. Yeah.
And the thing is like you're grinding curry, waiting for all the ingredients to come, because you have to make the ingredients, you need berries, a certain amount of berries and certain ingredients, but certain ingredients aren't available every day, and some of them show up very rarely.
Mm-hmm.
So you're grinding curry that way, and then once you complete your curry decks and get your
curry decks.
You get your cooking utensils.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's called. It's called the curry decks.
Is that legit what it is in the game?
Yeah, that's
amazing.
It's a cookbook of all the curries you can and have made.
Hell yeah, man.
and I 100%ed that. I completed my curry decks.
Yeah, you would, man. You would.
Because as I've mentioned before, I'm a crazy person and I quite possibly hate myself.
I was literally about to say you're a goddamn psychopath.
I am. So yeah. So outside of the campsite thing, where I'm pretty sure most of that animation stuff, like a lot of their time went through, because if you look at the Pokemon there, they look really great and they all have some really nice, unique animations.
Sure.
What ended up happening though is the battle in battles, most of your attacks were Pokemon, shifts up five pixels and
doing
then
a
shifts
little
back down.
butt waggle for the tail whip.
Yeah, they turn around, wipe your butt, and then wipe their ass on you.
Yeah, man.
So the game suffered. So and the thing is, like, they eventually reopened up the decks with the DLC. That's once we found out that there wasn't going to be a third game, it was going to be paid DLC. I was like, oh, I see. You're going to turn the national decks into paid DLC, which I like. Well, after I thought about it, I was like, that's actually kind of smart.
Yeah, sure.
Like, given how much people bitched about there not being a national dex, the fact that it, you sold it to them over 2 DLC packs was kind of brilliant.
Yeah,
as a business move. I was like, kudos. Shrewd business tactic there. Yeah, I bought the DLC.
Right.
Because typically, like the third game, is where all the good story stuff is hidden.
Yeah, I always I always think that the third games always end up being better than the initial releases, because because not only are they better story, but they're like, okay, well, when we did the first 2 games, we actually discovered all the problems in the process. So like now when we release the third game, we're going to fix all those problems, So,
the DLC storylines were actually pretty good, especially the second one, which was legendary, like legend centric. So it kind of like gave you every legend in the national decks. Right. It gave you a crack at catching them.
Yeah.
So that was neat. So that happened, and then BDSP comes out, and it's not
a goddamn train wreck,
and it's not platinum.
Yeah,
and it's Link's Awakening for Pokemon for 4th gen Pokemon, right? Except for that art style, that kind of plastic toy art style.
Chibi.
Yeah, the chibi plastic toy thing doesn't necessarily work for Pokemon, because the Pokemon are not also chibi versions of themselves.
Yeah. Well, and like I always think of like some of the reviews that I saw for the game, and a lot of it was that sometimes it would be chibi, and then sometimes they would have like fully drawn, fully animated, like with proper stature, like characters and things like that for like separate cutscenes. It's just like, make up your goddamn mind. What do you want here?
Yeah, and they're like, I mean, something like that is excusable in the DS because the DS was a weak system. So you kind of have the cutscenes, but then you have the sprite-based stuff for everything else. That makes sense. The Switch, while a limited system, can play a full can play a full fat Pokemon game. We know this because it played Sword and Shield. So the shortcuts for BDSP were kind of rampant, and then Legends Arceus still looked like hot trash. But the whole
but it was different, right?
Well, it proved that a full game of Wild Area will absolutely work.
Yeah.
That was the proof of concept that that Pokemon's Legend Arceus gave us. It was an open world Pokemon game can work.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you know, it's going to look like hot trash if you don't do something about the graphics engine. Yeah. So they released the second trailer for Pokemon for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And did they do any kind of updates to the Sword and Shield engine? No.
Yeah.
It has the same texture issues, the same kind of pop in, this looks like crap when you're kind of looking at it from afar. The same stuff goes through, the same crappy animations. Text box are there, so I'm pretty sure they didn't even bother voice acting anything. Which, to be perfectly honest, with the voice acting that was in Breath of the Wild, with the voice acting that was in Breath of the Wild cutscenes, maybe it's kind of a blessing that some of the stuff isn't voice acted. But one of the things that I thought was weird was you had the opening cutscene of Sword and Shield, where Chairman Rose like explains to you the world of Pokemon.
Yeah.
But
they have like a little lady Nidoran pop out of a ball and scream at you.
Something. Well, no, not necessarily. but you know, it looked like he was about to hype a match.
Mm-hmm.
So he shows up, and you're like, oh my god, this is going to be a voice. This looks exactly like something that would be a voice cutscene. And then, like, he looks like he's about to speak, and then the whole game goes quiet, and the text box pops up.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Like they didn't even bother like keeping the crowd noise in. They muffled it so that they could pop up the text, so they could pop up the text box and play the text animation sound.
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
I'm like, oh.
But this is still like, this is exactly what I'm trying to say, is because, like, I mean, like I watched some people like react to like the Scarlet and Violet or Cyan or shit brown version or whatever, and you know, I watched people react to it, and they're like, "Oh, look at the new monsters! Oh my god, it looks so beautiful!" And look at it, the hair, the kids with the hair, and like, and they're like, "Oh my god, the legendary! Look at the two legendaries! They're so amazing!" And I'm just like,
"Oh, this is those legendaries are some of the worst designed looking legendaries I've seen in a while."
I didn't give a shit about the goddamn legendaries. I don't
like I was like, I like looked at it and I was like, "Aw, I kind of miss puppies."
But like, I mean,
it was Shield Doggo, because it was Shield Doggo and it was Sword Doggo.
Yeah.
At least, but now we've got Dragon with wheel popping out of its chest,
and Dragon with jet boosters,
with jet boosters, and a hoverboard attached to its tits.
Yeah, man, come on, what's your problem? Don't you like Pokemon?
What's your problem,
bro?
I mean, I like Pokemon, and
Aren't you hyped about the new legendaries? What's your problem, dude? Aren't you hyped about? Aren't you excited to play the same goddamn game over and 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 over?
Well,
ad nauseum.
Okay, so you know my situation.
Uh-huh.
I've kind of priced into playing the game, so I will absolutely 100% buy the dual pack when it comes out. Sure. I will grab Scarlet for myself, and my son has already told me he wants Violet because he really likes
the jet boosters.
He really likes Jet Booster Dragon.
I knew it, man. I knew it. It's the jet boosters, man. It does something for him.
Yeah, he likes the Jet Booster Dragon.
Yeah. Who doesn't? Who doesn't like a good Jet Booster Dragon? Kid's got good taste. Not being facetious.
I mean, I guess the benefit from playing Scarlet is my professor is the cave woman.
Hell yeah, man. Savage Mama.
Yeah. So that's and we gotta look at the starter design. And to be perfectly honest, like, I can't argue with the starter design. I think these starters look way better than the Sword and Shield starters.
Yeah.
Sprigido is your standard cat Pokemon that will eventually become bipedal.
Yeah.
Um
and look manly and disgusting.
Yeah, Fuecoco is probably gonna get wrecked.
It's gonna turn into Feraligatr, but like red and breathe fire.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
But at least it won't go bipedal. Even though it's pretty much bipedal now.
Feraligatr is bipedal. Feraligatr stands on 2 legs.
Okay, well, I mean, this thing's kind of bipedal now too. It's just so low to the ground that it looks like he's a quadruped. Man. And then you have Donald Duck's heart, nobody Quacks.
Yeah. See, I think what's going to happen is that the cat that is on all fours and looks cute is going to go bipedal, and then the fire.
I mean, look at the cat. Like we know what Pokemon has done before.
Yeah.
Sprigoto is exactly Litten.
You know it's going to be like
look at the designs.
Yeah.
Look at the designs.
Yeah.
For between Litten and Sprigoto, almost identical.
Mm-hmm.
One is fire, one is grass.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a quadruped second generation. Where they get kind of bigger.
Yeah.
Litten to Litleo, and then you're going to have the third evolution where it becomes bulky dude in a fursuit.
Hell yeah, man. Let's go. I was gonna say that I thought it would be funny that like the green cat, goes bipedal, becomes like a big fursuit man, bipedal fursuit man. And
well, I mean that's what happened. I mean that's what happened to Litten.
Yeah, and then the little, pepper lizard is going to become, a Feraligatr, a fire Feraligatr. But I thought it would be really funny if, like, the cute little bipedal duck just randomly gets on all fours. walks around like a Venusaur. Like
he's just like I'm a duck. I'm a whale.
And just like randomly like man hands grow out of his wings.
Yeah, he's just gonna walk around on all fours.
Yeah. He's gonna like he gets like man feet, but they're like web toes. and like because he has like that weird little hairdo, so like he's gonna bald too. So he's gonna be like a creepy like balding man on all fours with like feathers all over his body, but he's balding on the top. Like,
yeah.
That's my image of the little cute little duck starter. That's what I dream that he will become in his final form, man.
Yeah, some of the new, like we got 3 of the new Pokemon too.
Yeah, the little olive.
Everybody, Smoliv, the little olive Pokemon.
Yeah, Lechonk.
Oh yeah, don't get me started on Piggy.
Yeah, the internet has fallen in love with the Memamon.
Yeah, I mean that's. I mean, congratulations! I mean, this is going to be this generation's Bidoof. You know it's going to be the starting the low level trash Pokemon.
Oh yeah, probably. What do you think its typing is going to be? Oh wait, did they already say what it is?
It's pure normal.
Yeah, figures. I bet you it'll evolve into like a normal fighter.
No, I'm pretty sure it stays pure normal.
Think so?
Yeah, like Bidoof didn't change it.
Normal water.
No, Bidoof went ground.
No, it didn't. It went normal water by barrel.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this will probably end up being normal ground.
All right. I mean, that would make sense, like a muddy piggy. I can see that.
Yeah, like hippopotamus or whatever.
Yeah, and then they got the new rat, the new official rat that nobody's going to care
The
about.
the Pikachu, this generation's Pikachu clone.
Yeah, the Pika rat.
The literally it is Pikachu.
Yeah, that
It,
nobody
it
will care
literally
about.
is it's literally an electric mouse Pokemon
That
that
nobody will
stores
care about.
electricity in its cheeks.
That nobody will care about.
I don't know. Pommy looks kind of sweet.
I guess. I don't know. I just like I don't I don't know, like, even to this day, like, sometimes, like I told you, there's that YouTuber that I watch who does competitive
Mhm.
battling that I enjoy. He plays monsters, and I'm like, "What the fuck
Bruh.
is that?" Like, and because it's all from, like, Sword and Shield and stuff like that, you know? And I'll see him, like, put out a monster, and it's like, Calrex, and I'm like, "I don't know what
Bruh.
the Calrex is. Like, what the shit is that thing?" Like like or like, any of the monsters from Sword and Shield, I have no fucking
Bruh.
clue what they are. Like, I don't know their types, I don't know their move pools, I don't know their abilities, like, I don't recognize their designs. And like, honestly, I could give less than a shit to try to like learn them, because I'm not playing Sword and Shield. I'm not planning on playing Sword and Shield, so I don't give a shit.
Well, you're not planning on owning a Switch.
I mean, maybe someday I'll own a Switch, but even if I did own a Switch, I don't think I would be playing Sword and Shield on it. And one thing I definitely know that I won't be playing is I'm not gonna play Scarlet and Violet because I don't like. It's just.
They smartly the one thing I'll give them credit for in the trailer was they were like they showed that they're willing to fix the multiplayer. So instead of having just everybody, so one of the problems with multiplayer in Sword and Shield was the internet's like if you were connected to the internet, everybody was in your game,
Okay.
which meant nobody you wanted to play with was able to connect with you.
Right.
Because the game was already just flooded with net traffic.
They didn't even have like a priority list or anything, because like even
No,
like
no,
even
no, no.
Omega Ruby.
There was a friend list.
Oh, okay.
You never saw them online, even though that they were online, without jumping through 7 million hoops and doing little workarounds to get your friend list to recognize that your friends were online, so that you could invite them into a raid battle with you.
Hmm.
So they fixed that by not having that open of an online system. So now you have friends on invite only to join you into your world.
I don't remember seeing that. So I mean, was that something that you read about or something that
No,
you
it's something
individually said?
it's something that they said in the trailer. Like
Oh, okay. I
if
guess
you
I
actually
wasn't paying
listened,
attention.
if you were paying attention, listen, they were like, four play, like they showed the multiplayer, and instead of having like 12 like random trainers just kind of popping in and out around you, they were
Yeah.
like they were very intentional on saying, you know, 4-player only co-op, and then you can explore the world together. So basically it sounds like somebody is a host, people can connect, and they're not doing any of the general internet stuff that kind of killed online for Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
However, they did not explain to us what kind of stuff that we would be doing in co-op.
That's what I was wondering too. Cause like when because I do remember they showed that.
They didn't show us anything like a raid den. So if you've got friends kind of just walking around in their game together
Yeah.
without in-game voice chat,
I would just be
because
worried also about like what progression in the game looks like. Like if you progress your side of the game and then you have like your three other co-op players and they're not playing at the exact same time that you are, like they're going to be missing out on stuff, aren't they? Like,
I'm hoping that they took some of the keys from PLA, where game progression isn't a like game progression isn't kind of tied to milestones.
hmm.
So basically, you're in the world. You have missions and quests that you can go on, and to progress yourself in the storyline, you have storyline missions. But if you want somebody to join you in a storyline, if you have a friend join you in a storyline mission, they get credit for completing that storyline mission. Or if you do side quests, they get credit for any side quest, even if they haven't unlocked it yet. Their game will know, hey, you've completed this, so that when it does unlock, they're like, oh, do you want credit? Do you want credit for having completed this? And I'm assuming gyms are pick your order, which is something that they should have had in Sword and Shield, but they didn't.
So right away, one of the things that immediately turns me off from the idea of like the game would be at all interesting is you went ahead and said gyms. And it's just like, oh, so they're just doing the same thing again. Got it. You got to get all the gym badges, and you got to make it your way to become the champion so that you can proceed to be the champion and then do nothing afterwards. Got it. Just like every other game before it. Got it.
Oh yeah, no, there was very obviously things that looked like gyms. They didn't show any gym leaders, but they definitely showed a battle arena that looked like a gym.
Yeah. See, but that's exactly my point of like why I'm not interested in Pokemon games anymore. It's like, God forbid if you try to do anything different whatsoever. Like, God forbid if you dare to try to tell like a story of any sort.
I mean, yeah, but that's yeah, but it's kind of a binary thing. Either you realize what's up, and you kind of realize that that game loop isn't ever changing,
right?
And you've kind of learned to accept it. To have the Pokemon experience, you've kind of signed up for basically Pokemon games have always been kind of a parallel story. You have the I'm a Pokemon trainer who needs to become the Pokemon League champion. But then you also have we have this intriguing thing happening on the side, even though the game likes to pretend that that's the main story, but it never really is, because the main story is and will always be, I've got to be the very best.
Yeah.
Like no one ever was.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like at that point, because that's what I was trying to say before when I brought up the whole like watching Pokemon Showdown videos, because it's just like at that point, it's just like I can still enjoy the concept of the battle system. Like I still to this day think that the Pokemon battle system overall is clever. Like, I mean, it doesn't need to be super complex. Like, I mean, I get it that it's an over bastardized version of, rock, paper, scissors. Sure.
Yeah, it's a collection of counters that you have to learn.
Yeah, like, like you learn patterns, and there's different kinds of mechanics and, all sorts of things. And it's a very basic battle system. But the way that they add in all the different kinds of moves and abilities and tricks and sense, like the progression of priority and like, counters and all sorts of things, like that's interesting. Like, I think that's still fun and interesting, but it's like they hide that, like that intriguing battle style system. They hide that like in a game that is constantly repeating itself all the frickin' time. And it's just, I got to a point of where I'm just like I basically got to a point of where I'm just like, this is just not fun to do anymore. Like, I'm not, like, I'm still down to like be decently smart enough to play the battle system and have a good time with it, because it's intriguing and there's lots of different ways to mess around with it. But like, it's packed inside of this, like baby's first RPG designed by Fisher Price. And like,
Right.
I'm so tired of that. Like, I'm so over it. Like, I don't want to do it again.
Right, but the thing is I think at this stage in the game, uprooting that would probably be less productive than we think it would be.
Sure.
Like I'm trying to think like, so the thing is the Pokemon, the become the league champion storyline, which is present in every game except for Legends Arceus. What that is
Well, I
there
mean,
for?
Mystery Dungeon, if you really want to try and name off all the spin-offs, like
Oh yeah, I mean,
XD, Coliseum.
yeah, Pokemon Masters X.
Sure. Sex Master Pokemon. I'm down
Yeah,
for
Sex
that.
Master Pokemon. Yeah.
Let's go.
But like specifically the reason why I mentioned Arceus was, yeah, I mean it's a wholesale shakeup
Mm-hmm.
of the Pokemon system, which gave you which basically what they tried doing was they tried letting the secondary Pokemon story live as the primary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just think that, like, I would like to see, I guess maybe I'd want to see more Pokemon spin-off style games. Like, one of the ones that I really remember was, because I even mentioned it. I think it was called like Pokemon like XD, I think it was called. And that was the one with that had like, it was for the GameCube, and it was basically like a Final Fantasy kind of game style, but with Pokemon battles. And like, in other words, you were running through an RPG, and like the idea was that you were essentially like, you kind of played a bad guy. Like, you kind of played a bad guy, and your whole goal was like, you like would get into Pokemon battles, and you would find certain kinds of Pokemon that had like, you know, darkness or something, like a curse of darkness. And whenever you found one, you had to like steal it from the trainer, which you would use like a special ball in mid battle to capture the Pokemon that was cursed with darkness or whatever. And like, it was very unique and different. And I mean, yes, like it was just a bunch of Pokemon battles stacked up, but like it had like an actual storyline to it that was like different than just trying to be like a champion or whatever. And like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I want to, and like, I can even think of like the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games are pretty interesting too. Like, I don't know. I guess in general, it's just like, oh, I just need to see more spin-offs, because I mean, obviously they still make them. And even like, you even talked about the Arceus game, which is just a spin-off, which is why it was allowed to be different. But like, I could see myself, for example, like a while ago when we were really talking about Arceus, which was back when it was being released and you had gotten your hands on it, like, I could definitely see myself being more likely to play Arceus than I would to, say, play Scarlet or Violet. And it's literally because of what I just explained, which is just I'm tired of the same goddamn formula. I'm so over it. It's like, and I mean, I still like the battle system, and I still think it's fun and interesting, but it's just like, I just want a different
And I
story. I
think that
want
I kind of think that's why the formula exists the way it does. To be perfectly honest, is because the battle system, because Pokemon Company isn't stupid.
well,
They realize when they release it, like they realize
well, it
what
works.
the
It makes them tons of money.
well, it works. It makes them tons of money. So don't rock the boat too much.
Yeah.
But what they're doing is they're basically setting a new season of competitive Pokemon play
Hmm.
with each new generation. So, but the problem is like you kind of want your experienced Pokemon players an ability to speed run that so that they can be there ready to compete like within a week. So I know I understand your frustration. I don't see a path to change that part of the game. So the only thing that they could do is write a better secondary story and try to make that seem fresh and interesting. but usually it's not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll admit that like I really liked the Delta expansion for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I thought that was
Oh,
really interesting and
the
fun.
Ultra Beast stuff in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was
I never played those.
okay. Well, the Ultra Beast storyline in Sun and Moon was actually pretty good too. But so yeah, but that's the other thing is the third game syndrome, where they're like where they find what didn't work, they made whatever changes they needed to make, and then they were like, oh, we had this idea for a way better story, let's tack it on as new content,
Right.
and release it.
Yeah.
One would hope that since it takes since a mainline game comes out once every other year, that they would go, hey, instead of waiting until the final mix version, let's do the real writing during development. Me, I mean, I'd probably be actually, I 100% wouldn't care for Pokemon if it wasn't something that I do with my son.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I could give less than two shits about this year's version of Pokemon.
Well, I mean, like you used to be into it like when you were younger, right? Like on your own.
Oh yeah, like not too terribly deep into it, but
yeah,
I liked it. It was a game that, like, the completionist goal, wasn't too terribly unobtainable, but it was still enough of a challenge that when I got there, I could be like, bruh, yeah, Mudkips.
Bruh. Yeah, Mudkip. Bruh. Yeah, Seeking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I used to feel the same way.
And to be perfectly honest, I kind of applauded Sword and Shield for making
fine if you like it. It's all
for
good.
making the completionist part a little bit easier. They tweaked some of the catch rates. They made things available that were typically like one-time events.
Right.
They made them, they widened those a little bit. So it made building a completed living dex that much easier.
Yeah.
And like I acknowledged the ease in which you could build a competitive, not just a competitive team, but competitive teams.
I don't even want to like go that far to even play competitive Pokemon anymore. Like I don't even want to buy the game anymore. Like I don't even want to like deal with like going out and spending $60 on a game that's just exactly the same with a few updated mechanics. I definitely don't want to play through that same goddamn storyline over and over again. I'd rather just watch people play competitively. Like that's that. Like I'm retired. I'm officially retired from competitive Pokemon. But I could still watch people play it and understand what the hell is going on, which is kind of fun. But I'm donezo. Like I don't think I can really come back to Pokemon anymore. I really don't. So yeah, no Scarlet, no Violet, and even if you were to like if a Switch was like dropped on my doorstep like tomorrow, and they were like, oh, by the way, here's also like a coupon that like gives you like half off of Scarlet and Violet, I would be like, no thanks, I'm good. Like no, like I mean, it's like, well, what if they gave you Scarlet and Violet for free? And it's like, I mean, I'll be honest. Maybe. Yeah, I'll probably turn it on for like a couple of hours and then peace out, So, like, That's kind of like for example, like I was playing yellow version on my old Game Boy Color. I kind of stopped, like because I ran into that problem again where it's like, this is just. I mean, I know this is the original one and that's cool and all, but I've like memorized this. Like I know exactly what I'm doing, where I'm going, what I'm supposed to be doing. Like I know what the story is. I know all the objectives. I don't want to play this. Like so yeah. I'm not a Pokemon fan anymore, guys. I'm not a Pokemon fan anymore.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So there was some other gaming news.
I actually did want to talk about the other one.
I want to talk about one. I want to talk about the one you don't want to talk about.
What's that? Go for it.
One of the things that got announced before the thing that you want to talk about was Sony announced that they will be releasing the Insomniac Spider-Man game, the remastered version of it on PC.
Insomniac. I know that brand. What have they done? I even know what their logo looks like. Did they do what was that game called?
I think they're Sly Cooper.
Oh yeah, that's totally where I would know them from because I played both. I played Sly Cooper 1 and 2. Didn't they also do what's it called? I have it in my Steam library. Give me a second. It's the one about the psychic kid.
No, you're thinking Double Fine, Psychonauts.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, Psychonauts. Okay, so they didn't do that. Got it.
No.
Okay.
Insomniac, Spyro, Ratchet and Clank.
Yes, I've played all those games. Okay.
Yeah, that's what they're known for.
I definitely know them then.
They left Sony for to do one game called Sunset Overdrive.
Never heard of it.
It was it was a kind of high movement first person shooter. It was a Xbox One release day one release title.
Okay.
And then they got the Marvel Spider-Man game. And I played it on the PlayStation 4. It was very, very good. Quite easily the best PlayStation, quite possibly the best game on the PlayStation 4 was the Spider-Man game.
Interesting. I mean, I've never played it. I don't know anything about it, but
well, I mean, you didn't play it because you didn't own a PlayStation 4.
That's true.
It was because it was a PlayStation. It was a PlayStation exclusive and will remain being a PlayStation exclusive until next month.
Okay.
When it is slated to be released on PC.
Okay. It's a good way to make a quick buck from a bunch of people who never got to play it before.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's the updated version, the updated re-release that got ported to PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually seriously considering about picking it up on PC only because I want Sony to release more of their exclusive titles. They've been slowly drip feeding exclusive titles to PC.
Mm-hmm.
They did the last God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I heard that Horizon Zero Dawn has been really popular lately, specifically because it was released on Steam. So everybody's getting another chance at it.
Yeah, everybody's getting another crack at it. So I want Sony to do this, and Spider-Man is a good action game. So I'll probably end up picking it up.
It's interesting.
It also give me a chance to play the Miles Morales spin-off game.
Sure.
Because that is also coming.
Okay.
So that was the announcement that I was kind of the most high on for the Sony state of the game.
Right.
But you probably want to have a conversation about the actual big game release announcement.
Yeah. This is the Final Fantasy, right?
I mean, it's either Final Fantasy or the RE4 remake.
I totally heard about RE4 being remade. I forgot about that. Wow. That's the like old school, like the famous one that was on the GameCube, right?
I mean, RE4 has been on anything with a processor.
Right. I think
I
I just
think
distinctly remember it specifically on I think my memories of that game are on the GameCube.
it was supposed to be a GameCube exclusive and was a GameCube exclusive for a grand total of 5 weeks.
I'll have to look that up. I didn't know that they were doing like I think I heard about it, but I just didn't give it much thought, like the RE4 remake. But that's like the super famous one. The one that basically breathed life back into Resident Evil at a time when it was like I mean, people still liked Resident Evil, but not to the degree before number 4 came out.
Yep.
So yeah, that might be kind of interesting to see. Maybe I'll play it. I mean, if it's released on Steam, I might play it. Like I might look into that. That might be kind of fun.
Oh no, it's just
is it console exclusive?
I believe it's console exclusive.
Cool. I will never play it then. Sounds good to me, bro.
I'm trying to remember if 3 remake actually made it to PC.
I think I have 2 on Steam. I think I have 2. Isn't it 2 that I have on Steam? Because I have Resident Evil 7, which is a goddamn masterpiece.
Oh no, it's coming to PC. It's not a Sony exclusive.
Okay, that's cool. Then I'll probably play it. Yeah, so I have Resident Evil 7, which is a goddamn masterpiece. I love that game. And Resident Evil Revelations 2. How have I never played this game?
I have not played a Resident Evil game since the first one.
Dude, you should play Resident Evil 7. It's so good.
I keep seeing that.
It's so good. Don't play The Village. Like I thought Resident Evil 8 The Village kind of sucked. A lot of people think it's a great game. I don't think it's very good.
But it's got big titted vampire chick.
Yeah, but that's like the best part of the whole game. It's like literally
doesn't she die like in the first chapter?
Yeah, she's literally like my thing was I argued about Resident Evil 8 was they should have made her the main villain and just kept her alive through the whole story until the very end. Like it's so depressing when you kill her and like it's within like it's pretty much in the very beginning of the game like cuz there's like 4 sections and Resident Evil 8 The Village they did those characters dirty. They did them so dirty. I was really upset about it because they have a villain character. They have this one character that is so genuinely terrifying. And she's like a puppet master kind of character where she like controls like she uses psychic powers to like control like dolls and stuff like that. And like they do this whole thing where you're like walking through her mansion and she's like playing games with you and like using her psychic powers to mess with you and control dolls to like mess you up. And it's a genuinely like terrifying experience going through that. She dies so fast. Like it's literally like in my opinion from what I remember, it's like the shortest section in the whole game. And I'm like this was like the scariest part of this whole game. And you did it so dirty. Like you did it so dirty. You could have like made this like this could have literally been a whole game by itself. Like each individual because it was like a game that had like 4 or 5 boss monsters and each boss monster had their own chapter. Each one of those could have been an individual game. Like legit. I have no idea why they did 8 the way that they did it. It really bugged me. But I will say play 7. 7 is so good. It's like a masterpiece from beginning to end. Like guarantee it. I've never played Revelations 2. I have Revelations 2 on Steam, and I have no idea. I got this game for free, and I don't know anything about it. I'll have to look into it at some point. But if you wanted to get into Resident Evil again, and you wanted to play a really good one, I heavily recommend 7. Play it. I don't even want to.
I do not want to get into Resident Evil.
Oh, okay. Well, then don't even worry about it. Don't even listen to me. I don't even care.
Yeah,
don't
no
even
problem.
care. Don't even care.
Lick me, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. So Final Fantasy. Let's move on. We're done talking about Resident Evil. So what is it? 16, 18, 22, 45, 107? Which one are we on?
69.
Hell yeah, bro. 420?
420, nice.
Dude, I hope that I'm alive when Final Fantasy 420 comes out.
I don't know, given the rate in which Square Enix releases games.
Yeah. Honestly, I bet Final Fantasy 420 will come out before Elder Scrolls 6.
I don't know. Now that Microsoft is keeping what's his face in check,
Mr. God Howard.
Yeah, God Howard.
It just works, man. It just works.
That man is a national treasure.
Yeah, all 4 feet of him.
Like one of the biggest tragedies of the Fallout 76 fiasco was Todd Howard's fall from grace. during the Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Skyrim era of Bethesda games, like Todd Howard was just a creature, a blessed being of pure benevolence.
I have this image of
delicious memes.
I have this image of him as an angel with a harp coming down from the clouds with the light beaming through. But not only just that image, but also done in the Monty Python style. Where he's made out of paper or something like that. He looks like he's painted and made out of newspaper.
Yeah. So that's God Howard coming from upon high to bless us with Fallout 4.
I hated Fallout 4.
I mean, it was a Fallout game.
I just didn't enjoy it. I own it. I've played it a little bit. I never liked it, but that was just me. Because I know that there's a lot of people who really like it, and for good reasons. I just couldn't get into it.
I mean, it's definitely... I definitely would rather have New Vegas than Fallout 4, but...
I adore New Vegas, but yeah.
Yeah, no, Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
We finally got the second trailer after that game's been quiet for 2 years.
Right.
According to Yoshi P, this game a couple of months ago was ready to go. Mm-hmm. But they were just, putting some final polish on it. And when we got a trailer, we would be seeing kind of a final product. Mm-hmm. And then the trailer comes and it's coming summer 2023. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, there was no way that game was anywhere as close to being completed.
I mean, so I looked at the trailer, and I didn't even know that it existed until literally an hour before the podcast started. I watched it.
That's because it literally that trailer literally dropped 2 hours prior.
I watched it, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of liked a little bit of what I saw, but like you said, it's I'll probably rewatch it a couple times to get like, because I watched it right before we started the podcast, and I was like, okay, I'm coming up with an evaluation right now. But I mean,
it looks pretty, but that's because Square has given up the ghost on trying to make their in-house engine work, so they're doing everything in Unreal 5.
Thank God, like they should.
Yeah. So it definitely looks pretty, and it definitely looks like a classic Final Fantasy game.
That's I'm kind of glad that that's something that I didn't think about until you just now said it. It looks like that they're kind of not going super hard on like future fantasy tech, which is like kind of like been a theme in a lot of their games recently. And I kind of like the fact that it looks a little more of like old school fantasy.
Yeah, it looks Dark Soulsy.
Yeah. I mean, I for the most part kind of liked what I saw. I mean, like
I liked what I saw, but it also, like, without having somebody explain combat, what I saw looked like Bayonetta.
Oh my God, you're so right. It did have kind of like, especially when they were doing like all the attack combos.
Yeah, like the combo counter.
Yeah, you're so right.
I'm like, did they get Platinum Games after, or Team Ninja? I think it was Team Ninja that worked on Final Fantasy Origins. Did they get Team Ninja after they worked on Final Fantasy Origins to help the Final Fantasy 14 team make a spectacle fighter again?
I mean, one thing I will say, I do like Bayonetta. Like, those games are fun.
Well,
I only played the first one, but
well, no, but it's Bayonetta is just, another one of those combo junky spectacle fighter games.
Yeah,
in the vein of Devil May Cry and God of War.
Yeah, man, sexy hair lady go brrr.
Her body, her suit is made out of her hair, and then in Bayonetta 2 she cuts her hair, so it wasn't her head hair that was making that suit.
That's hot.
Yeah.
Curtains match the drapes.
I mean, the when you're full body carpeted though.
I mean, but the thing is she, like, I mean, she gets, I mean, you don't see any naughty pieces, but she gets butt naked a couple of times.
I mean,
like,
sure. I mean, all she's got to do is shave her pubes and she's naked.
Well, but I mean, the thing is part of her abilities are that she can like control her hair and like its consistency and like where it's placed. So like technically she could, like, she has some moments where she can like just be butt naked and like her hair is just gone. And like she does do that, and that's part of like the sexiness and appeal, is that like that's why her, suit is skin tight. And then suddenly it just comes off all of a sudden. You're like, humana, 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 humana. Like, I mean,
I never understood the attraction of Bayonetta.
I like to imagine that her hair follicles just kind of like absorb her hair all at once. like, you know how like cats retract their claws? That's like her hair follicles.
No, her legs are just disgustingly long. She's got fucking like spider legs.
Yeah, man, she's got legs that go for days, bro.
Dude, she's got legs that go for decades.
Yeah, man. What, you don't like your women kind of spidery and like, having an exoskeleton and possibly, multiple bodies? And maybe
I don't want to have to erect scaffolding to do the butt sex.
You don't want your girlfriend to like make you like wrap you up in a silky web cocoon and suck the juices out of you? Take your time. It's okay. You can think about this.
Wrap me up like a burrito and give me head.
I'll take that as a yes. See, like once you kind of hear it from my perspective, it's okay, man. You're allowed to like spider girls. It's okay.
Well, no, I don't like spider girls, but I'm just thinking.
That's not what I'm hearing.
Well, first of all, lick me. Second of all, I like I like silky. I like silky, like
Yeah, you
silk
like silky.
blankets.
Yeah, huh? Yeah.
Like silk blankets, like a little throw, like a nice
Yeah,
light
man.
silk blanket. Wrap me
Uh-huh.
up in that like a burrito, and then blow me.
Yeah, yeah. Spider silk, man.
I
See,
mean,
if Cinder if Cinder is like, a bird furry and I'm like a scaly, you can be a spidery, okay? And then we'll get the whole
or
group together and we'll go throw a convention in Canada together.
I mean, if I'm going to be anything, I'm going to be a squiddy.
Squiddy?
Yeah, or an octopussy.
Why? Why? Like, I mean, you know what? That's fine too, man. That's fine too.
I mean, think about it. Well, what do squids and octopi have?
Uh-huh.
One of my famous.
Oh
What
yeah,
what
tentacles.
what
Right,
am I?
tentacles. Yeah,
What am I famous for?
I
That's
know.
right,
Yeah.
tentacle henty.
Right.
Yay! We finally got there.
All right. You can be an octopus, dude. It's okay. You're allowed to be an octopus if you want to be an octopus. That's fine. I don't know. I definitely like the spider narrative though. That was pretty entertaining. That's pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Anyway,
fantasy.
Final Fantasy.
Corekeeper.
No, Final Fantasy. So the trailer didn't do a very good job of explaining what it is that we were seeing.
Right.
It all looked very pretty, but as you discovered, it's Unreal 5. Unreal Engine makes everything look pretty.
Yeah.
You're gonna love Space Skyrim when that comes out next year.
I will probably not play it.
Space Skyrim? You're not gonna play Space Skyrim?
No, probably not.
Okay.
I mean, maybe we'll see. We'll see.
I mean,
I don't think I'm gonna. I don't know if I probably won't buy it at full price. They're going to charge like $60 for it.
You know who's releasing? You know who's publishing the game? Microsoft Game Studio.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Bethesda's owned by Microsoft. So
yeah.
it's a Xbox Microsoft game. So it's an Xbox and Game Pass exclusive.
Okay.
You know that $10 a month I pay for Microsoft Game Pass?
Is it going to allow you to like play it without buying it for like $60?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Like it allowed me to play Outer Worlds without paying $60 for that. Like I got to play Gears 5.
I bought Outer Worlds for like $30 if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I
bought it on sale.
And the thing is, when Outer Worlds came out, wasn't even paying for Game Pass. I got like a 6-month free trial for buying my processor.
Neat.
When I build my computer, so
sometimes I think I need to go back to Outer Worlds. I didn't even really get past the beginning on that game.
I mean, I kind of at some point Microsoft is going to have something this month. And I'm hoping we get another shit trailer for Outer Worlds 2.
It'd be kind of interesting. Oh, yeah, that's right. They did that joke trailer where they're like, where they were like making fun of the fact that they don't have anything to show us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Corekeeper.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it does like look good. Like I'll admit, like the thing is that like they showed a tiny amount of gameplay, and I mean that's fine, I guess. And like they did the whole classic thing where it's like, "Ooh, look at the pretty visuals, look at the pretty stuff," and it's like I always kind of go with the ruling of saying, "Well, I don't care unless I see gameplay." Like, I mean,
but, there was a lot of gameplay in that trailer, but
there was
it was confusing to me because none of it looked like a role play. None of it looked like role playing, and none of it looked like an action RPG combat system. Like it looked heavily like a spectacle fighter / Dark Souls clone.
Yeah, like a roguelite or something.
Like they took the work that Team Ninja did on Final Fantasy Origins and just kind of tacked it on to 16.
Well, I mean, it might be interesting to see. I mean, I'm kind of down for it. I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, I'm once again going to be the guy that's like, well, I'm not going to pay full price because I don't do that anymore.
Character, like it'll be fun. It'll be interesting to hear about how if it is literally a action RPG with a spectacle fighter combat type system,
right?
Like what kind of RPG elements are they including to make this a Final Fantasy game?
Mm-hmm.
Because at this point, like Dark Souls is not a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah,
you could have all the references to chaos you wanted to it. It's still not a Final Fantasy game.
Chaos. Chaos was a cool character, though. I like him. He has lore in Final Fantasy 12.
I mean, what didn't have lore in Final Fantasy 12?
I love that game, and like, even though we have to wrap up this podcast, I would be more than happy to talk about how much I love that game more.
Okay, so tune in next time, where Habs tries to convince me that Final Fantasy 12 isn't A New Hope.
I mean, whatever, man. Star Wars is bad, and you should feel bad. There, I said it.
I'm not disagreeing with you that Star Wars is bad, but back when Star Wars was still kind of good, Square Enix was like, we're going to remake A New Hope and call it Final Fantasy 12.
I don't care. I like the story. I thought it was fun. And I do actually like the story of Final Fantasy 12. I know a lot of people want to shit on it, but that's fine. Live your life, man.
The Wookiee is a sexy bunny lady, so that works.
Sure. Oh my god, you're so right. They were Han Solo and Chewbacca. Holy shit. I've literally never made that connection in my entire life until just now. Wow. You are so right. Oh my god.
Yeah, Vaughn. A dopey Luke Skywalker.
Well, then who is Bosch? Who is Bosch?
I mean,
yeah. No, Bosch was super important in this story. Who was Bosch? You can't do that.
Just because, who was Bosch?
Yeah, who is Bosch?
Princess Leia.
Whoa, okay, really? Then who was Princess? Because I thought she was Princess Leia. Who was what is her name? Princess Ash. Princess Ash. Who was Princess Ash? Yeah. Who's Princess Ash?
The other annoying kid was not Princess Ash. I sometimes get those mixed up.
Pinello. So Pinello was Vaughn's childhood friend, who was also basically his lover, pretty much.
Yeah, Pinello is C-3PO.
Not bad. That's actually pretty good. Okay, yeah, Pinello can be C-3PO. Sure. Who's Princess Ash?
Princess Ash. The thing is, Princess Ash, you would like to say she was Leia, but no, Bosch was actually the Leia, because Bosch was the pivotal person who the story kind of floated around. Anyway, this is a tangent. We need
to, we were already 15 minutes over.
Yeah.
That's okay. You know what? This will be an extra long one because it's the anniversary.
But the Vieira lady, she's definitely Chewbacca.
I mean, I thought that was incredibly well done. When you said that they were Han Solo and Chewbacca, I was like, holy shit, you're right, they are. But she does. But I mean, that was
Princess Ash? Princess Ash can totally be R2.
No, she's too pivotal to the story to be R2-D2.
R2-D2 was the one. R2-D2 is the one who was carrying the Death Star plans.
No, Ash is so important. You can't do that to her.
R2-D2.
I was okay with Pinello being C-3PO. That's fine. I can totally see that. Because nobody gives a shit about Pinello. Pinello doesn't do anything. But you can't call Princess Ash R2-D2.
R2-D2 is actually incredibly important to like three of the to both of the the first two trilogies.
Princess Ash, like half of the plot revolves around her in a way where she has to like actually do what she has to be the character. She doesn't get to beep and boop and roll through things. Like that's not.
I mean, she kind of does.
No, she doesn't. Shut the fuck up. Come on, man. No.
She delivers the plans of the Death Star.
Oh man, I'm gonna pull out my strategy guide and I'm gonna read it tonight. I'm gonna read through like all the bios of all the goddamn characters. Oh my god.
And the thing is nobody realizes how important R2 is because he's totally not the droids you're looking for. Just like in the game, nobody recognizes their princess.
It breaks my heart because I like Ash. I like her, man.
I mean, no, I like her. I like R2. Like if I wanted to diss Ash, I would have said 3PO. But the thing is 3PO is literally worthless.
Oh man. All right. Let's you know what?
Final Fantasy 16.
No, this is over. We're ending. I'm done with this bullshit, man.
Okay, it's been a fun year.
It has been. You know, I'm sorry, man. Like I'll go ahead and say I am kind of excited to see where it goes. Final Fantasy 16. I'm curious, so I'll say that.
I mean, we'll if we see this game before holiday this next year, I'd be surprised.
Okay.
I mean, it's release windowed for next summer, but I know how Square Enix releases games.
Right. Well,
it at least looked like it was in a reasonably done state. I'll give it that much. That gameplay trailer looked like it was in a reasonably done state, but until somebody says I have went hands on with the game and played it, that game is still not within a year.
Okay. All right.
Because you can make some pretty impressive looking tech demos in RE5. I mean, look at Sonic.
I was literally just about to bring up the Sonic game. It's like, yeah, man, like Sonic, right?
Yeah, look at Sonic.
All right. Well, you know, I just want to say that this has been a really fun year hanging out with you, Buddy Boo. Glad we're doing this and having a good time. And
no homo.
Oh, dude, what are you talking about? All the homo.
Oh, wait a second. It's Pride Month. Yes, let's homo.
Yeah, all the homo.
All the homo.
Son, I am homosex. But yeah, I hope that we can maybe go on for another year. What do you say? Think we can do that?
I mean, I'll sign up for another year of this. Sure.
Dope, man.
Ruin your mind by telling you that your characters are literally Star Wars characters.
Whatever, man. Like Final Fantasy 12 is a masterpiece. Screw everybody who disagrees with me. That's my final stance.
I mean, A New Hope was seen as a masterpiece too.
So anyways, thank you guys all so much for being with us for a year. I know that the majority of you have been listening to us since episode 1, and we really appreciate that. And so thank you for hanging out with the Imaginary Boys for one whole year. You guys are amazing. Seriously. We just appreciate that we can just kind of get on and talk about whatever stupid goddamn thing is on our minds at any particular given time, whether it's a tangent or a rant or just us telling dick jokes for like 2 hours straight.
Queef our dumb bullshit straight into your ear hole.
Mm-hmm. Kind of hot. It's kind of hot. But we do have to end it off. So I'm going to say, go ahead and like and leave a comment down below. And if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe and maybe ring a ding the bell. That'd be greatly appreciated. Check in the description below for all the wonderful links, such as PayPal, Streamlabs. All donations are greatly appreciated. Wonderful shout out to the amazing, amazing Patreon members, which include Bo Falcon, Fajuk Enterprises, James P., the lovely, lovely Miss Rebecca, as well as Scorpgeist. You guys have been so amazing to us, and we really appreciate having you guys on board with us. So thank you. And check out the Teespring merch. Check it out. I actually ordered myself Lady 80 because I made that for me. And I hope that some of you would be interested in buying it. But I definitely ordered my own copy of it, and I'm excited to get it in the mail soon. So check out the merch. I'll probably be working on an Imaginary Boys design soon. So look forward to that. And I think that's pretty much it. And I guess other than that, we have been the Imaginary Boys. Happy anniversary.
No homo?
Why not homo? Yeah, let's homo.
All of the homo.